Hey, my brother.
Hey, Fred.
Hey, you're looking pretty sharp today with your jacket and dress shirt.
Thanks, man.
Nice.
Doing what I can.
Hey, thank you so much for joining me this morning. As you know, Garrett, I asked to do this with you. We're giving a seminar, Lead Coaching, June 13th and 14th in Denver, Colorado. And we have a whole lineup of world-class speakers. And obviously, you know, this is one of the reasons that I wanted you here. I mean, you're just a world-class guy, number one, not just from the service you provide, but it's really all about who you are. And again, one of the main reason that I asked you to speak here, Garrett, is the whole theme of the weekend is build a high-value practice that expresses your sole purpose. And this is really what you're about. You're about creating the most value in people's lives. You know, the tool that you use is money. You know, how to create freedom, really, is my impression. How to create freedom in your life. Money is a tool to help you fulfill your sole purpose, and you are probably, I'd be so bold to say, is one of the only people that really put sole purpose first, and then the application is how basically to finance and live your life with freedom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like how you said that. You know, I think sole purpose is primary because you could have money, but if you don't have sole purpose, you'll never have fulfillment and happiness. I've just seen it. I've witnessed it firsthand. I've even experienced it before I came to some of these conclusions myself. And, you know, sole purpose is what really provides that excitement, that reason for being. And it's not always easy. As a matter of fact, we have to make hard choices along the way to embrace it. But if money's a byproduct of that instead of what comes before it, that's where we really live a life worth living. And we don't even worry about retirement because we feel like we're living that when we can really embrace it and build a team to support our sole purpose.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Well, and you said a very key word. You know, there's a big difference between being successful and living a fulfilling life. And that's really, really what you're about. I mean, there's so many people that are successful by conditions in the world, by the way the world looks at them, or they may look at their conditions, yet there's a deep dissatisfaction inside them because sometimes success has a price. Success has a price if there's not fulfillment. And that's really what you're about, and I think that kind of sums up what you just said.
Yeah, it's like making a shift and changing the scorecard, because in my 20s, the scorecard was how much money could I amass, because I looked at my self-worth directly tied to my net worth and how much money that I made and how much money that I was building up. And I always found someone that had more than me because, I mean, there's always someone, right? So if it's always this more philosophy, and if the scorecard's always about numbers on a piece of paper, that could become in life where when people ask me, hey, Garrett, what's your hobby? I'm like, I run a business. You know, what do you do for fun? I go to events to learn more about how to be better at my business. I mean, that's probably the most fun thing that I did, right? And I wasn't even that fun to be married to, Fred, because I worried about every dollar that we spent, and I was a Ebenezer Scrooge method of wealth, which was all about what you could attain and keep, not necessarily what you could experience and grow. And it limited me because of that scarcity mindset. And when I embraced abundance, my income went up, my free time went up, and my freedom was really expanded beyond what I thought possible. And my vision was lifted massively so that it wasn't just about what I could make, it's about what I could impact. And as a byproduct, yeah, money's part of that. I live a better lifestyle now today than I did back then. And, you know, it's not an either or. It's not either I make more money or I help people. It's actually very much you can do both and do it very effectively and make a lot more money and feel better about yourself too.
Awesome. Well, and on the same vein of everything we've been talking about, I mean, this conversation is very impromptu. You and I are just really having a conversation, yet it directly aligns with your title, because the title that you're giving on Saturday is Tapping into Lasting Sustainable Wealth Through Living a Fulfilled Life. I mean, it just comes natural, doesn't it?
It's just who we are, man. It's what we're about. It's like, it's be, do, have. If that's who you are, then what are you going to talk about when given an opportunity to share? You know, and especially because my greatest pain was not being aligned with my sole purpose. I mean, Fred, I used to sell life insurance, and I made more money than 99.9% of people that sold life insurance They took me to Australia, wined and dined me. They gave me awards. I was part of the MDRT, and I just wasn't fulfilled because it wasn't exciting to me. I wasn't passionate about it, but I had all these renewals, and I had to walk away from a good chunk of renewals to embrace my sole purpose. So it was a painful move in the short term, but a profitable, fulfilling move in the long term. And sometimes I think the problem we have in our world is that people are so addicted to the next dollar that they earn that they miss out on their bigger picture of what do they really want to do, what impact do they really want to make, and they get too busy with what the bottom line is for the day than what the bottom line is over a lifetime.
Nice. Well, and it's all these things that we're saying that, number one, I'm so honored that you actually contribute to elite coaching. You just recently gave your first teleconference, coaching clients to get our teleconferences on Tuesday, and you're giving, I think, 3 or 4 of those this year. Yep. We have a 5-pillar system. The 5th pillar is financial freedom. And basically, after coming back from your boot camp, I basically just said, Garrett, you don't have a choice. You are in charge of the financial freedom pillar in elite coaching. And you graciously accepted that responsibility. Thank you very much, because I would have felt really awkward if you said no.
Graciously and quickly. I was happy to do it, and I'm excited to be part of that. That's part of what I feel that I'm best out and the best thing that I contribute. So, and it's cool because we're so aligned on the spiritual side. So for that financial piece, I think it just made perfect sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, well, number one, your boot camp was amazing. And we will be giving Elite Coaching Boot Camp with Garrett, so we'll be talking more about that. There was one other thing I wanted to cover. You're definitely taking charge of the financial freedom pillar. Mm-hmm. You spoke at our seminar last year in Chicago. I'm thrilled to have you this year. Oh, here's what I wanted to say.
And I'm not going to be on a cleanse when I come to Denver. I'm committed to being able to eat real food while I'm there.
I know. We were in an Italian restaurant, and he wasn't eating. I mean, we had all this lasagna and all this stuff, and he had his little sip in his bone broth at the end of the table. I mean, you weren't sipping it there, but great discipline.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. Elite coaching, as everybody knows watching this, I mean, we specialize in spinal corrective practices, and there's so many great coaching groups out there, and everybody has something great to offer, and this is our niche, and we're head and shoulders above everybody else just in this niche because that's our expertise. And what we find is that because of the value that we create, that elite coaching clients will tell you, I mean, when you look at the practices, we don't have a ton of people at 1,000 a week, but not everybody has those goals. But when you look at volume and the success rate and the amount of cash they're pulling over the front desk, because people really value and learn to live that lifestyle. And so, and what I'm really getting at is, rather than a shameless plug for Elite, is that Elite clients need to be responsible, because they are being financially rewarded very well. And since money is a tool to fulfill your purpose, what I always say is we need to master practice, because our next bigger purpose is waiting. And if we have a nice fat bank account that we can contribute to our community, we can contribute to the profession. And that's really what it's about, is contribution. And I know that's a big thing for you. So it's so important for you to be an integral part of that, because elite clients are very successful. And that next purpose is waiting to contribute on the next higher level. And I know that's really what you're about, is not about the money, obviously, is also the next step in your soul purpose and contribution. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything to say on that.
Well, I mean, I think freedom comes through contribution, and the more you contribute and get paid for it, the more options you have to do what comes next to expand that purpose, that vision, that impact. And when people don't have that, they miss out on the greatest opportunities. They just absolutely miss out on the greatest opportunities. And I feel like in chiropractic, it's going to require a lot of money to support the type of vision that these chiropractors have, because they really want to make a difference and really be part of transformation. And so, I mean, flat out, if your money ain't right, you can't join the fight. If your money ain't right, you can't make the biggest impact. So.
Right on. Hey, I just noticed my video hasn't been on the whole time. I'm using somebody else's laptop. Sorry about that, gang, but Gary, you're a pretty good-looking guy. All the focus is on you, my brother. So, hey, thank you so much for taking time today. I'm so excited to have just have the experience of being with you, and I know you're going to add so much value to that weekend. Everybody, if you're watching this, just go. I guarantee in this experience, it's not just going to be inspiration. That's the small thing. You're going to have transformation. So when you go back to your office and bring your team, when you guys go back on Monday, things will be different and a new step will follow. So thanks for your time, Garrett, and I will talk to you soon, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Fred. Enjoyed it. Always good to see you, man.
All right, brother. My pleasure. Take care. Bye.